Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I've been watching Tucker Carlson interviewing Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports. If you were a regular Tucker Carlson Tonight show viewer, you remember this guy. He interviewed him, I think, on August 31st, and I stopped at minute 40 in interview 32 when Dave Portnoy will ask Tucker Carlson to say, why were you and Fox debacled, whatever. Basically, why did Fox fire you? And it's very interesting to hear what Tucker says. It's something that I met in at least one of my instances in my career, if you want to call it. And listen to this. I will play this video. It's about maybe 2 minutes. It's from Twitter. All right, so Tucker Carlson, and let's get going. Maybe.
Of my lifetime. Thank you. What about yours? I mean, you're kind of similar. What? Now, let me ask you this. Before the Fox unwind.
You mean I got fired?
Yes. Did you think were you ardent, go Fox, go guy, or did...
My view on Fox hasn't really changed. They let me say whatever I wanted, really, for 14 years.
That's interesting.
I'll never stop being grateful for that. And then, obviously, I said too much.
Too much.
And I'm not exactly sure what I said that was bad.
To say too much, man.
Nope, can't have this anymore, and they fired.
To say too much. And one day they just show up and they fired him. Okay, and he's gonna say something else.
And I even told them as they were firing me, it's your business. I made a mental note, never work for anyone else again. And I never will. But I can't be mad about it. I mean, they were great to me. The Murdochs were always nice to me. And
the Murdochs. And he's going to talk about the second tier echelon.
And one day, for whatever reason, they'd had enough. So my feelings weren't hurt. I was not expecting it.
So were you, for me, when I was with Penn, I knew there were things I can't go there. They made that clear. Did you feel like at Fox you could say whatever you want?
Well, there was always internal... the Murdochs were always not... They never got in my way at all. They were always super nice to me. But there were, small... It's a company run by fearful women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there were always...
Did you hear that?
Sick.
Did you hear what the counter is ran by what? Fearful women.
Weren't hurt. I was not expecting it.
So were you, for me, when I was with Penn, I knew there were things I can't go there. They made that clear. Did you feel like at Fox you could say whatever you want?
Well, there was always internal... the Murdochs were always not... They never got in my way at all. They were always super nice to me. But there were, small... It's a company run by fearful women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there were always, second-tier people who were hassling my producers. But no one ever...
So the second tier, fearful women, a bunch, running the company of Fox News.
Me... I got along with everybody, but I think they knew the censorship it's not don't welcome that, you know. So, but they never actually got in the way of anything. Our view on the war in Ukraine was really, really hated. I could feel it, and my view was not pro-Russia. Never has been pro-Russia. Just this is not our fight. It's not good for us. We should just put an end to the war because people die in war. I've seen it. It's bad. And just saying that was considered crazy pro-Kremlin propaganda, and they were very mad about that. But to their credit, they never said anything to me about it directly. I could just smell it. And so I really just don't have any complaints. And I will say, and I know that you've experienced this, it's true, being humiliated in public, being fired, I have been a couple of times, is totally good for you.
Totally good for you.
It keeps you from thinking you're Jesus or getting super crazy hubris guy,
I would think with you, it would have increased. So
my friends, I thought it was interesting that not the main guys, but the second tier, a bunch of small, fearful women. I don't know, that's what you said. I experienced this situation in one of my jobs where most supervisors were women. The program directors were women. The director was a woman. The how do you call that? The one in charge of everything was a woman, still is a woman, and I'm talking about the governor of the state, still a woman. And I felt this kind of supposed to be compassion. In the name of compassion and empathy, you have tyranny. So in the name of, we're going to limit your freedoms, we're going to limit your action. Courage is not acceptable. You're too strong, you're too masculine, you're too toxic. And switches to my experience, I had a few times when I came with a product and I put my signature almost in, but I said, you know what, I disagree with this. And sometimes these fearful people, and they came and told you that maybe your attitude is wrong, not because it was wrong demonstrating to you it was wrong. They just decided because they knew better. And unfortunately, these people were in charge of a big department with big decisions and very important decisions that affected a lot of people, negatively and positively. But in this case, negatively, because they did not know what tards are actually in charge of their destiny. And I'm talking about families. Sometime along my YouTube videos, I will make definitely a few, not only one, videos about me and my particular situation in this particular job, where I had to deal with very low IQ individuals, so very low in knowledge and abilities, not moral, but just very supposedly empathetic to others. And empathetic meaning I feel more than you feel. How do I know that? I just feel it. And therefore I am your boss and you will do what I tell you, regardless, because I'm a better person than you. And it's okay about me. I say, okay, well, that you're an idiot, whatever. But that affects people they don't even know who make the decisions on their lives. It's unbelievable. And if that happened at that level and higher, where I saw it, I was thinking, these guys look at the judge or an attorney or a director or a supervisor or a police officer or law enforcement, medical professional, principal, school principal. They don't even know how average these guys are at best, mediocre. But because they have the authority of being in that position, they think they give that authority, that position, thinking he's higher than me, he must be better. No, he did certain things better than you. And the circumstances allowed that person to get there. So in Tucker Carlson's situation, he had no control of those hysterical or fearful whatever, and he got fired. He said, I don't even know why. Well, that's the worst thing when, they don't come to talk to you. They just say, you're fired. Why? And they tell you then. They didn't come and warn you, hey, you can change this, you can change that. Or, for instance, they can have a how do you call it, a re-evaluation of your job from time to time, like a trimestral or every year, half of year. And after, let's say, a yearly evaluation, performance evaluation, they come with the performance evaluations and they mention a few things and they say that was bad. So why in the fuck you didn't tell me when I made the mistakes? Or if you thought I was making a mistake, now you tell me? What if I repeated that many, many times and you just now fire me? Or give me a low rating? What is this? Even with a child, if a child makes a mistake, you have to prompt the child right there and explain to the child why that was a mistake. So he gets it. Next time when he does it, you do the same thing. And next time when he does the same thing, you have to be consistent. You can't let it go sometime. You have to let them know. The same with an employee. But these guys are just retards. I'm telling you that. Direct experience. I have a lot of names, okay? I mean, I can mention maybe rarely one that really could be considered a good person, good qualification for the level. The rest are below. are way, way below. So if you see a director or a program director, they're way above. Those titles, those positions are way above their intellect and their knowledge and their morality as well. I can vouch for that as well. All right, my friends, that's for a different video sometime later. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.